Alright guys, there is no endgame in guitar, but this is as close as you're going to get. So it's basically taking what I'm going to show you right here, and at the end I'm going to share a recording session in Logic that takes these simple concepts and makes music. Your job is to put ideas out into the world. I really want to encourage you this, so let me kind of practice what I preach. This is where we want to take this channel to the next level. So what I would normally do is give you this lesson, and then we would be done with it. But let's show you what's the end game, okay, for what we're going to learn. So essentially what I did is this, and I'll break it down when I show you in just a minute. I have a 3-chord progression, okay? I have a C chord, I have a G chord, and I have an A minor chord, okay? And a simple drum beat and a simple synth, a pad, just kind of droning some low-end content below. So the song opens up with a triad outline of the chord. So if you think of a C major bar chord up here, on the E and A strings, I outline C, E, G. I go C, E, G, C, and stick around to the end because I want you to hear how killer this sounds, okay? And I played everything through twice. I didn't just copy and paste stuff because that is lame and that's not how you make great music. So C, E, and grab your guitar and see if you can play along with the track, okay? So just on the E and A strings, I'm just going C, E, G, E. I'm just outlining the triad, C, E, G, E. And then I slide down same strings, E and A. I go G, B, D, B, okay? And then we slide up. And there's like 3 kind of separate parts. And when you hear how they mesh together musically, you're going to get very inspired, and I hope you'll put your stuff out. When we get to the A minor, it's a bit more of a stretch. So I use my 2nd finger on the 5th fret, and I'd go A, and I have to hit that C 2 frets back. A, C, E, C. And what I do to mix it up a tiny bit is during that little riff, I add in the D, which is the 4 or the 11. I go A, C, D, A, C, D, C. But it sounds like this. Okay? And I might vary it because I told you I played the track twice. And I'll show you the breakdown, so stay here. You're going to dig this. Okay? Now, the main thing I did on one of the other tracks is I played that triad I've shown you a bazillion times on the channel on the DGB string set. I did C, E, G right here. Slide down, same string set, G, B, D. Because I want you to listen to the track at the end when I'm sharing it with you, and you're going to hear all these parts. And then I did A, C, E. It hangs on the A for 2 bars, okay? So, then you have that first part I have going underneath. Okay? And it goes by kind of quick when you're playing that arpeggiated part on the E and A strings. So think of like that's like a bass line, even though there's no bass in the track. Okay, so you got that. Now, what I also do is when the track, that's kind of like a verse section, because this is like the clay that we're molding into a track. Okay, you gotta hear this. It's so fun. This is what drives me to play guitar and all instruments on a higher level. This is the hunt for that. This is gonna move you like emotionally and move people emotionally, okay? Now, another thing I do is then I go into this cool part. It's almost like a lead part using triads. And what I do is I move to the G, B, high E string set. Okay, and this is all gonna make sense, so stay here. I strum these 3. This is G, B, D. And what I do, instead of starting on C, I slide it from here to here. That's from G, G, B, D to C, E, G. And it's kind of rough, but the roughness is cool. There is no perfection in music. Perfection is a lie. So you gotta let things fly with your musicality, your style, okay? And then what I also do is I also grab this triad at some point, A, C, E. There's the A minor. And what I do is I switch sometimes to the C major triad right there. And the reason is, this is why theory is important, because A minor and C major, they're related. Relative major, relative minor. So it's all the same notes. And it's up to you how you do it musically. And the reason I want you to hear the track at the end is I want all this to make sense. I want you to go, oh, wow. But it'd be great to see what you could do with it, all right? So you have the outline on the E, A strings. And this is what production is. This is what producers do. This is what I've done working with artists over the years. Then you've got the open chords. That's always home. Oh, excuse me, goes, yeah, C, 2G. Because you're going to hear all this in the track. All right, you got that? And then only thing I might do is I believe, because I know C, E Phrygian is part of the C major scale. I think I did a little and I land on C just to kind of bookend it. Because it's not a full song yet. It's just like molding the clay into a direction I can find. But I think I might, just let me know what you think of the track, all right? And I'll drop it in Dropbox so you can have just the track to see if you can play along with it, okay? Just if you can get this part. This is the hardest part because it's faster, okay? This one's slow. Okay? And then this. Now I told you I played the parts twice. They're on 4 separate tracks. So there might be some like clashing here and there, but that's actually what makes it music. That's what AI will never ever be able to do. Okay? So let's go ahead and hop onto the track. I'm going to narrate, I'm going to break it down for you, and then drop any questions. My goal for this channel and you is for you to play music with other artists, okay? To go out and make real human music. Forget about perfection. There is none. What it is you need to put your vibe, your spirit out into the world musically. That's what the world needs more than anything. All right, so let's go check out the track, and then I'll wrap it up, and then just let me know what you think. If you like the content, you like content like this, I'll keep moving this forward because my goal this year is to put out a lot of music. It's just time, okay? So let's go check out the track. Okay, so here's the session. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna play it all the way through, just let you soak it in and hear it, and then I'm gonna stop and we're gonna break it down piece by piece. But just to kind of tell you, here's the drums. Just lay down, these are just drums that are in the session. I just used them, they're like stock drums. Here's the pad, the synth, adds the low end content, no bass in this. Here's 2 tracks that I played through. And then here's the other 2 tracks. Now all 4 tracks were played through from start to finish, no copying and pasting, and that's how you make music. So let's go ahead and listen to it. I'll stop it, then I'll show you all solo tracks, and I'll let you hear what I showed you in the beginning of this video, which is this is the end game. This is what we're trying to do. Come up with a musical idea. Maybe this turns into something, maybe it doesn't, but I've learned, I've gone deeper. Okay, here we go, without further ado. You feel sick after that? Okay, so you guys can kind of see. So I give you all these lessons. I talk about triads forever. So let's just kind of break it down. Let's go into what I showed you in the beginning and how I thought like a producer or as an artist use my musicality. I went deeper in how I put it together. You know, this was done in like 10 minutes. So I was just doing this as a test for all the new studio gear, which is phenomenal. But this is what I want to inspire you to do, make music. So let's see if we can take the channel in this direction too. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm an artist like you. I want to make art, I want to make music. So that's what I want you to do as well. So the drums were just something I pulled up. They're in the system. There's a thing called drummer. They're just there. So I didn't give it much thought. It's better than playing to a metronome. This synth is just for funsies. Check this out. This is really cool. So this is actually called Anthem. It's like an analog synth. So it's just adding like a vibe below the track. Okay, let's go to the fun part. So so I told you, let's hear, I think on this one, this has got those triads on the DGB string set. So it's gonna go C, G, 2 bars of A minor. and then I kept it on the same track, and it goes into the open chord. So let's listen. Now, these are both the exact same tracks. Now remember, I could have just taken this track, and I could have copied it down, and I could have dragged it down below, but that is like the lazy way to go. And you're only going to cheat yourself as an artist if you do that. That's the thing that's wrong with so much music already. It's all cut to a grid. There's no vibe. So even though I had to play to a drummer, this is like playing to the grid, but the best thing I could do is give it some push and pull by playing it twice. So listen to these tracks solo. Here we go. So it's on the A minor again, A minor. So back to the C, G, A minor. And it's gonna go into the open chords, okay? Open C, open G chord, open A minor chord. Okay, so that was more of a production thing. Now I could have put the open chords on another track, and I could have let these ride on their own track, and then I could have just come in. This is more like a performance the way I'd have to play it live, right? Now if I had two guitar players, I'd have to pick what's the most important part. That's a fascinating thing too. All right, so those are those two elements. You got the arpeggiated triads on the DGB string set, like I showed you in the beginning. See if you can play along with this track too. I'll drop it in the Dropbox. It's linked in the description, and just play along. I'm pretty sure I'm tuned standard, but if not flat, but I think standard. But the hard part of this is listen to how fast this arpeggiated part. Now this is that EAD string. Now what I did here, if you notice, I'll kind of zoom in. There's a couple bars. Let's kind of make the drum track a little smaller. Let's just make this guy. Okay. So you see how there's a couple bars of this part before the main triads come in on the DGB string set. So I kind of faded those in. Now, this is not mixed. This is very rough. This is like just an idea. I mean, this is what you put in your musical cut. So listen to this. So these guys soloed. And again, same thing. I played them all the way through separately. And I honestly, when I got to that A minor part, I probably played it a little differently, but let's listen to it and see where it kind of gets different. But that's what makes music cool. Okay, here we go. Now we're on the G, okay? A minor, A minor. Back to C. Now it's gonna go into those high triads and the GB high strings. So listen to this. This is kind of rough. I'm kind of bending the strings. Little riff. So that was that little riff that was out of like an E Phrygian scale. So you guys see how fun this is? I mean, oh my gosh, this is why I do this. I mean, I never played guitar because I wanted to play guitar. I wanted to be in a band, period. The guitar was just my tool to get me into that world. But this is what I want to share with you guys. This is where I ultimately want to take this channel. Now listen, the lessons are always going to be the bread and butter of this channel, always, right? But this is what we're trying to do. Like, I don't want you to sit around and play open chords for the next 10 years. Now listen, if that gives you great joy and that's fun, excellent, right? Excellent. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say it in every video, right? So rhythm is king, but you think like a songwriter. Every little part is a song or a possible song. This goes in my catalog now, you know? Now I consider in like, what am I inspired by here? Where am I going to take this? I'll take this to my bandmates. We'll cut real drums. My bassist will lay down a bass line. And then this is what production is. So if you guys want to become a producer, or you want to become a session guitarist, which I've done both of, these are the skill sets you need, okay? So you have access to all these digital audio workstations. If you guys want help with that, let me know, okay? But again, you saw the little lesson I did. I gave you the framework, okay? And all those lessons I do in the charts. I'm trying to show you how I actually use this stuff in the real world, this is the end game, writing a song. Now, I could sit here and sit in the song for 5 years and like, oh, I must no. That's why you just let it go, man. Raw human emotion, human vibe, okay? So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I will tell you, so everything recorded on here, this is the first recording session with the new gear. Holy cow. You guys tell me. Now, you're probably going to hear the crappy compressed version of YouTube. So definitely grab the track from Dropbox and listen to it with some earbuds in. But holy smokes, I just did a little bit of processing on these guitars here. I put a little chorus on them, a little bit of EQ, but everything pretty much went in through this gear, and it's just unbelievable. Man, I'm just like over the moon. So my goal is to put out a lot of music for you guys, tons to come. Let's keep this thing rolling. So let's go ahead and wrap this up and keep playing that guitar, keep creating, and keep having fun. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed the track. You saw how I broke it down. That's Logic. That's just one recording, digital audio workstation, a DAW. It's kind of the way you say it. I also use Pro Tools. I kind of start composing in here. I've got all this amazing new rack gear that's just, oh my gosh, God tier level stuff. That's the goal. If you're gonna put your art out there, just do the best you can with your gear, but put stuff out, okay? So that's what we're gonna try and do in this channel too. So I'm gonna keep the lessons going, but I want you to kind of see, there's no end game to learning music or learning on the guitar, but this is the end game as far as what you're trying to take everything you learn and you're trying to turn it into a song or many parts, like in some kind of end game. And I'll just wrap it up with this by saying there's a funny saying for guys that mix music, that make records, producers, artists. No record is ever finished. It's just abandoned, meaning you gotta pull the trigger at some point. You can sit there and rethink this stuff over and over and over for years. Eventually you gotta pull the ripcord and just get your art out there. You never know how it's gonna resonate with someone, all right? So hopefully you dug that. Drop jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. Let's keep making music, let's keep having fun. Love all you guys. Grab the track from the Dropbox. See you in the next video. Peace.